Yo, what's your boy Ghost here, and today I'm bringing you guys another comparison video between the Welgun and MP-40. And I wanted to make this video because I wanted to get to the bottom on truly which SMG is better between these two, because I feel like these two are are closer to each other than like an Owen gun is to a Welgun or Owen gun is to an MP-40. And these two guns, I think, in my opinion, like if the Owen gun is the #1 SMG, I think that these two guns are in a really tight spot or just fight for the #2 spot. And so hence, that's why we're making this video today. But anyways, man, I'll give you guys a little update on the PC situation. Because my PC situation has been really just depressing. Like, I don't know, man. I had to send it in for repairs. At this point, I don't know when it'll be back. I'd say maybe a week, maybe next week. Early next week, maybe I have it, maybe not, maybe take longer. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But yeah, man, I guess PC videos are still on hold, and just PC Ghost is still postponed until the foreseeable future. But yeah, man, with that being said, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button when it reaches 2,000, and yeah, let's get into the video. And we have the recoil pattern for the Welgun, and as you guys can see, nothing too crazy. This gun at range is, like, I would say average, because it's not the craziest at range, but it's definitely not the weakest. And you know, if you needed a range threat, and if you needed to pull it out for range, or maybe even for like sniper support, I think this gun would be pretty solid. I actually haven't tried running it as sniper support. I haven't tried sniper in a minute, actually. Maybe I'll have to go back to doing that just to have a little bit more fun. I actually haven't played in a bit too, but you know, it is what it is. But the Welgun, man, as many of you guys already know, the gun is amazing. Arguably, actually no, without a doubt, a top 3 SMG in the game. I feel like at the moment, if it's not the only gun, it's one of these two weapons. And I do see a lot of Welguns nowadays. I even see more. I feel like a lot more people preferring the Welgun over the Owen gun, which is kind of crazy, because I don't know. I feel like the Owen gun to me is kind of like the logical best SMG in the game, but yet a lot of people are kind of just like more comfortable and more just want to use the Welgun. I don't know. It just seems to me like a lot of the good players that I watch just tend to use the Welgun over the Owen gun, which is kind of crazy. And then when I play the game, I feel like I just see MP-40s, Welguns, Owen guns, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. And then I myself, I think I prefer the Owen gun. I think I just like the Owen gun a lot more than these two, because it's just, the damage is just undeniable. That gun just straight up be melting people. Not to say that the Welgun doesn't either. Like the MP-40 and Welgun, like they definitely like can get it done. Obviously, that's why we're here talking about them. But the Owen gun to me is just like, I think on a different level. But you know, people have their own opinions. People have their own preferences. That's my preference. Your preference might be the MP-40. Your preference might be the Welgun. You know, it doesn't really matter, because all 3 of these guns are really good. But yeah, man, this Welgun, ever since it's been in the game, bro, I feel like it's always just been talked about. You know, and I'm actually kind of surprised that this gun hasn't received a nerf. Hell, actually, I'm surprised that this whole time, in like ever since I guess the season 2 update, I really can't recall a time aside from maybe like the PPSH nerf. I don't even know if that was in season 2. And then like the XM4 nerf like a few weeks ago. They haven't really done anything to the weapons and like, I don't know, like I think it's been kind of hard to talk about comparisons, because it's like they haven't really changed anything, which is kind of surprising, because I feel like they're like putting in less effort now to just nerfing these guns and stuff. Like, I'm not saying these guns are overpowered, but for the sake of balancing and for the sake of just like what's the word, just having the ability to not be bored and just being refreshed with new weapons that you want to try and using, like they're just kind of lacking on the weapon buffs / nerfs. Like if they buff the stun or maybe nerf something, like maybe the Welgun or Owen gun, like I don't know, man, they just have been lacking in my opinion. But that's besides the point. We're just gonna move over to the MP-40 and stats. And then we have the recoil pattern for the MP-40. And again, man, this is what I'm talking about when I say that the developers are lacking. I literally mention this every video. And that's because, man, these recoil patterns just don't look they just don't look different. Specifically for Vanguard weapons, like they quite literally don't look different. Now I understand, you know what I'm saying? They got a lot of things on their plate. Warzone 2 is literally gonna come out in like what, 9? I don't know, 6 what, 8 months. November probably, or November, October is probably when they'll come out. And yeah, I know that we still got some, like, it's gonna probably be really good, and I hope it is really good. But man, we can't sit here for 8 months, 7-8 months with no like good content, bro. I don't know when season 3 is coming out for Warzone. I think it's soon. It might be at the end of this month. I'll probably check after this video. I'm gonna go see the timers looking at. Because man, I'm not like this season 2. What I feel like every other week, man, we're just getting to the point for Warzone where it's just like, bro, it's just unbearable. Like, we're just bored here, man. Because like there's no weapon changes. There's really nothing else new, and we're just kind of sitting here, just, you know, not really doing much. It's kind of boring. But regardless, man, I know once we get through this pain, we're gonna be met with a lot of good stuff. But anyway, back to the video, back to the comparison. I'm saying, for the first set of stats we're gonna talk about is the fire rate, and this is also another reason why I want to make this comparison again to highlight how close these two weapons are. Because like with the Owen gun, when I'm talking about something like the fire rate, it's just like completely slower than these two, like by I would say a good amount. But when we do it with these two, as you're about to see right now, you know, they're pretty close. So for the MP-40, we have a 600 RPM, whereas the Welgun is 658 RPM. Now that's also kind of like obviously an advantage, but it's not as big as an advantage of like 100 RPM difference. And obviously when you put on your fire rate attachments, they get closer to each other, or I mean they stay at the same. They don't really like, one moves up over the other and the other one stays like way behind. But then also with the damages, like the damages on these two guns are very, very similar. Whereas like the Owen gun, for like close to medium range, it's just way above these two, and it's just kind of crazy. The damage difference between these two, or between the Owen gun and these two weapons. But then when we go look at these, for example, the MP-40 to 0 to 13 meters, we have 58 damage to the head, 41 to the neck, 35 to the chest, 33 to the stomach, 30 to the upper leg and arm, 26 to the lower leg and arm. And for the Welgun, for 0 to 15 meters, we got 53 damage to the head, 42 to the neck, 36 to the chest, 33 to the stomach, and then extremities. So again, bro, like the damage is very, very, very similar between one another. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of confused as to how the MP-40 ended up falling off completely. Like in my opinion, like if we compare it to when it was really, really good in the I guess meta, obviously it was everywhere. And I feel like even like in the first week after it got nerfed, the season 2 update, it was like, it was still there. People couldn't just let go of it. But now, like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's really close to a Welgun, and I feel like it's kind of, you know, just not popular. It's just kind of like forgotten about. But anyways, man, for 13 and 16 meters for the MP-40, we got 46 damage to the head, 33 to the neck, 28 to the chest, 26 to the stomach, 24 to the upper leg and arm, and then 21 to the lower leg and arm. I guess that's probably why, because I mean the damage drop off at medium and long range is pretty tough. Whereas the Welgun for 15 and 20 meters, we got 46 damage to the head, 37 to the neck, 31 to the chest, 29 to the stomach, and extremities. So obviously there, bro, the damage difference is starting to kind of kick in. I actually, you know, that was a kind of a dumb statement by me, because, you know, here we got this now, and now I'm looking really dumb. For 16 meters and above for the MP-40, we got 40 damage to the head, 28 to the neck, 24 to the chest, 23 to the stomach, 21 to the upper leg and arm, 18 to the lower leg and arm. For the Welgun, 20 meters and above, we got 37 damage to the head, 20 to the neck, 25 to the chest, 23 to the stomach, and then 23 to the extremity. So actually, even at the, like, it's literally that medium range. I think it's now that medium range. Now that I'm looking at this, the medium range is the reason why the MP-40 has kind of like fallen off, because the Owen gun and Welgun obviously surpassed the MP-40 at that range, and medium range is actually really, really important. But the MP-40 still has contention in the close range because it's still pretty powerful at that range, almost exactly like the Welgun. But that medium range, man, that's where it really takes a hit. But then it kind of like again comes close at the really long range. But I don't know, man. MP-40 is just not. It's just not the same. It's just not the same as what it used to be, which is kind of sad. Actually, it's kind of sad because like I feel like this gun was like one of the most smoothest SMGs that we've had, but also like it was kind of boring because everyone was using it, and you know you just didn't want to try anything else because this gun was like, why try something else when you had this gun? But I don't know, man. It is what it is. We're here now, and I'm curious to see what changes they make in the future. Because I feel like right now we're in a pretty balanced state in SMGs. Like I feel like it's not one true dominant SMG. Because I feel like all 3 SMGs that I've been mentioning throughout this video are literally, you can interchange for #1 spot. You know, I personally think the own gun may be #1, but you know, again, other people have their own opinions and whatnot. So you know, I'm curious to see what they do in the future. But anyways, man, in conclusion, on which gun is better for the #2 spot, I think I'm just gonna have to say the Welgun, simply because of the medium range. Like I actually didn't even realize the stats between these two. I haven't looked at it in a minute, so this definitely opened my eyes. The MP-40 is definitely like right there though. Like, don't get me wrong, the MP-40 is right there, but just simply because of that medium range difference, I'm gonna have to pick the Welgun. Well, man, thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.